I tell you guys last week about Monday Night Raw? About Daniel Bryan. Nobody should be upset about Daniel Bryan losing and being embarrassed during this angle. This angle is going to make the WWE a lot of money. This angle is very, very similar to what would be happening in the Attitude Era. This is a Vince McMahon, Steve Austin storyline for 2013. Just take away Vince and Austin and insert Triple H, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan. This angle has money written all over it. I said that last week, and you guys need to open your eyes and see and listen to what I'm talking about. Everything with this angle is going perfectly so far. Daniel Bryan, we all know, is going to be the WWE Champion. We all know this. How he's going to get there, how he's going to overcome all these odds, is where the money is going to be made. Everyone is playing their role perfectly. You have Triple H, the douchebag, cocky son of a bitch, COO, who's in complete control of the company. You got Randy Orton, who's now the face of the WWE, according to Triple H, and he is your new WWE Champion. And then you got Vince McMahon laying low right now. You haven't heard from Vince this week. Where's Vince going to play in all this? But regarding what's going on right now with Daniel Bryan, everyone is playing their role perfectly. It's going to make the money. This is going to make Daniel Bryan even a bigger star. And the follow-up from last week's Raw with this angle, whatever happened last night was just great. It was great television. They didn't even do anything, off the wall, like fantastic. They don't need to do too much with this. This storyline pretty much books itself. This storyline is going to sell itself to the fans. And you guys, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm at home completely invested in this angle. I can't wait to see what happens next. Everything regarding this angle, to the opening, to the middle, to the end, was perfectly done. Triple H plays his role perfectly. He showed footage of SummerSlam where Randy Orton cashed in and became the WWE Champion. Triple H once again stated that was just business, and that was not personal against Daniel Bryan. Then he shows footage from last week's Raw where the Shield beat up Daniel Bryan in front of the McMahons, and then Randy Orton hit him with an RKO. Triple H now said that was personal. I have nothing personal against Daniel Bryan, but last week's attack was personal because Bryan insulted his wife and his family. So that's the personal response that he was going to get for it. Triple H said that he's willing to be the bigger man here and move on, but we know he's not. We all know he's lying. Triple H, again, like I said, is playing his character perfectly. Triple H also said business is booming, and it's all due to Randy Orton. Again, Triple H playing his role perfectly, building up Randy Orton, getting Randy Orton just a little bit more heel heat than he already has for disrespecting Daniel Bryan and taking that title away from Daniel Bryan. He then brings Orton out to the ring and presents him with a new Cadillac Escalade SUV. Now, we all knew this SUV, this Cadillac, was going to play a part later on in the show. By some way possible. We all knew this. Triple H again congratulates Randy Orton for breathing new life into the WWE and the WWE title picture. Obviously, Daniel Bryan wasn't going to remain back and just take all this ridicule. So he comes out, he thanks the WWE Universe, he thanks John Cena, and he thanks Triple H for showing his true colors, proving that his view about what's best for business and what the WWE Champion should look like is more narrow-minded than Vince McMahon. Bryan also says Triple H is nothing more than a sellout in a suit now. He cracks on Triple H's nose. He tells Randy Orton that he's going to be rearranging his nose at Night of Champions, and he's going to take that. He's going to take that WWE Championship, or he's going to rearrange the face of the WWE Champion at Night of Champions. He's going to take back that title. Then he declares that he will be the new WWE Champion, and the crowd reaction last night for Daniel Bryan was all night just super hot. I love seeing a crowd so into the main character in this good versus evil storyline that they get behind Daniel Bryan and everything he does. It was amazing. And then the highlight of this segment, and this is where the Shield fits perfectly into all this. I don't mind the Shield at all. This is what the Shield needed. The Shield needed to be back in the spotlight. And the Shield is definitely in the spotlight, being the bodyguard or the bodyguards to the new corporation. This is what they needed because they were kind of floating around the mid-card. They didn't know what to do with them. But now they found a role for the Shield. Bryan was going up against Seth Rollins in the main event. Triple H said if he beats Seth Rollins, he's going to have to take on Dean Ambrose. If by some chance he gets by Dean Ambrose, he's going to have to face Roman Reigns. So Bryan is running the gauntlet tonight because of the corporation against the Shield. That was great. That was great, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. Daniel Bryan obviously got his revenge. Daniel Bryan obviously got his revenge for what Triple H, did. He booked him in a match against the Shield in a gauntlet match. All the ridicule. Triple H again called him a B at best. We all know Daniel Bryan's not a B. We all know Daniel Bryan is an A. And obviously, like I said, Daniel Bryan was going to get his revenge, and that Cadillac Escalade was going to somehow play a little part on this 3-hour Monday Night Raw last night. So obviously, Daniel Bryan vandalizes the new Escalade that Triple H said that he bought with his own money to give Randy Orton. And he graffitied it in orange spray paint. I don't know what he used, but it was some kind of orange spray paint. He sprayed yes all over the van. That was a great sight to see. Daniel Bryan got his revenge by attacking Triple H's personal property, and Randy Orton and Triple H fuming. Triple H orders everyone in the locker room to come out to the stage and watch the gauntlet match between Daniel Bryan and the Shield. And if anybody's got a problem with that, if anyone wants to speak up about what he's doing as the COO and what he's doing to Daniel Bryan, they will immediately be fired from the company. No ifs, ands, or buts. He tells Brad Maddox to go relay that message back to the WWE locker room, and that's that. Again, you got Triple H playing his perfect role as the COO, as the evil heel here. And Triple H, like I said, excels as a heel character. He always has. Throughout his career, he's always been better as a heel compared to being a face. And then finally, the main event came. Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins was top-notch. This is your future of the company, folks. Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins is the future of the company, whether Seth Rollins goes on to be single or if he remains with the Shield for a few years. Whether or not he's single or with the Shield, he will be a future piece to the company. Great match, 15 minutes plus. You had Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins go at it. Daniel Bryan got the upset win here against all odds. He got the win against Seth Rollins. Immediately, he's thrown into a match with Dean Ambrose. Jerry Lawler is saying is complaining that there's no rest period. One right after another, Dean Ambrose gets into the ring. And all of a sudden, right out of the gate, as soon as Ambrose gets into the ring, like that, like the snap of my fingers, Daniel Bryan gets the yes lock on Dean Ambrose. And then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns comes in, and then another beatdown begins. Now, the main portion of this main event, this closing segment of Raw, before the main event actually happened, guys, I want you to pay attention to this, and I want you to see my point. Everybody from the locker room was lined up. They had one of the lady interviewers, I forgot her name. I don't know her name because I really don't care. But she came out and had a microphone and tried to interview Big Show. She tried to interview Dolph Ziggler. She tried to interview The Miz. Now, the sight of everybody on the stage watching Daniel Bryan in the ring, watching Daniel Bryan get the reaction he usually gets, was an amazing shot to begin with. But everybody selling the way they did on stage. Big Show remained silent. She asked, what do you think about Triple H? Do you think this is wrong and blah, blah, blah. Big Show did not say a word. He had a look of disgust on his face and didn't say a word. She asked the same thing to Dolph Ziggler. How do you feel going up against the Shield and, being ridiculed by Triple H? Dolph Ziggler didn't say a word. The Miz said, listen, you want my opinion on all this? And after that, he thought, and he thought. Thought better of himself, and he didn't say a word. And then she said, I guess you don't want to be fired also. Just that one portion of that whole segment, that main event segment, that actually was a sight to behold because it played so well into what Triple H is doing. Everyone now has a growing fear. The entire WWE locker room has a growing fear of Triple H and Randy Orton and the corporation now. That they know they want to speak out, for Daniel Bryan. They want to support Daniel Bryan in this. They know Triple H is doing wrong, but do you value your job? Or do you want to be on the unemployment line? One or the other. That's why this angle is going to make money. It's not only affecting Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan and the rest of us watching at home, but now they got the entire WWE involved, storyline-wise. Everyone's playing their role perfectly, and the sight to see Big Show, Dolph Ziggler, and The Miz remain quiet, they don't want to say anything about Triple H in fear of losing their job, pinpoint. It was great. It was a great thing to see, and I hope you guys thought that same way. But everything regarding this angle, it was fantastic last night. This was the main portion of the show that I was excited about. And the closing segments of the show, you see another week. Daniel Bryan laying on his back, another beating from the Shield. The Shield celebrating as the camera looks up at all three of those guys. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns celebrating in the ring. Great sight to see. I can't wait. Each week goes by. I can't wait to see how Daniel Bryan is going to be embarrassed more and more, only for him to win that WWE Championship. Patience, people. Patience. It's coming. The corporation and Triple H are going to get what they deserve. Now, now, if I was booking this angle, if I was writing the storyline, I would not do this too fast. I would not rush this angle. I would not have Daniel Bryan win the WWE Championship at Night of Champions. That's not the time. It's not the place. This angle needs to go on for another month at least. It has to have more build-up, and that's when you present Daniel Bryan with the WWE Championship. He finally has overcome all the odds. Now everyone in the WWE locker room can speak up against Triple H. But they could have went another route last night. They could have had everybody speak up against Triple H. I don't think Triple H was going to fire the entire roster. They could have did that also. But I liked what they did last night. Everything is flowing perfectly. I'm fully invested in this angle. Let me know what you guys think about this angle down below in the comments. The other big thing that we had happen last night was CM Punk and Paul Heyman. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much on this angle because not a lot happened last night. Obviously, you had CM Punk versus Curtis Axel. I've been high on Curtis Axel for quite some time now. Obviously, I'm a CM Punk guy. These two in the ring just get me going. I love seeing both of these guys in the ring. You got Curtis Axel, the son of Mr. Perfect, and then CM Punk, obviously one of the best guys in the business. And Paul Heyman's playing this role perfectly. You know, the coward heel, and then when he tries to get the advantage of CM Punk, and when he finally gets under CM Punk's skin, and he's got a second chance to get back at CM Punk, then he turns all into a tough guy. You know, but CM Punk did win against Curtis Axel last night. After the match, Heyman looks shocked as Punk gets ready to fight. Now, Heyman walks off to the back, but referees come down the aisle, and they bring him back to ringside, and Punk is just standing there waiting for him to fight. Punk leaves the ring, and Heyman runs to the back. Heyman walks up the ramp, but this time security brings Heyman to Punk. So Heyman's not going anywhere right now. Punk rolls him in the ring, but Axel makes the save with a vicious low blow. Heyman hands Axel a pair of handcuffs, and CM Punk's arms are put behind his back, and everyone's going crazy in the crowd. Axel holds Punk while Heyman yells and smacks him, that he loved him and that he was his best friend, and he's just smacking CM Punk in the face, ridiculing, belittling CM Punk. That was another great sight to see. Punk is playing his role perfectly. Heyman, everything he's done since he's been back is gold. Punk is sitting on his knees, and they just continue to taunt him. Punk jumps up and drops Curtis Axel with a stiff roundhouse kick. He kicks Heyman's leg out, and Heyman falls down to the ground, and then he goes to work on Heyman with kicks. Obviously, he can't take CM Punk's kicks away from him. Axel again makes the save from behind. Axel works Punk over and brings in a kendo stick. Now, Curtis Axel hands the kendo stick to Paul Heyman, and he nails Punk. He continues to beat the living shit out of CM Punk with this kendo stick. It was vicious. You had CM Punk with welts all over his back. His back was bleeding. It was just a great sight. It was just a great sight, and it was kind of like I envisioned Jesus Christ. CM Punk, playing the role of Jesus Christ, and Paul Heyman just playing that vicious evil role where they're just beating him down. It was another great angle, and obviously later in the match, Punk wants Heyman. He doesn't want this interference. He doesn't want this bullshit. He wants Paul Heyman, and he's threatening Brad Maddox to get him Paul Heyman. So Maddox makes the match official at Night of Champions. CM Punk, and he's going up against Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel in a handicap match. Now, I don't know if the Intercontinental title is on the line, but I would make it an IC title match. If CM Punk can beat both guys, I certainly believe he deserves to be the Intercontinental Champion. So we have to see what happens with that. I'm not sure what the rules and stipulations are for that match yet. We still got another 2 weeks to go. The other thing, AJ Lee drops a bombshell of her own. It was one of those CM Punk type moments for AJ Lee. She talks about watching this week's episode of Total Divas, and she mocks everybody in the ring. There was a match between Brie Bella and Natalya, and It was just one of those moments where you heard her talk, and then you heard where she was going with the direction of the promo, and it's like, you know what? Maybe I should stop what I'm doing to listen to this. AJ says that she sees nothing but a bunch of useless, interchangeable, talentless women. She says she's done more in 1 year than all of them combined. She continues to say she worked her entire life for this moment, while they were just handed 15 minutes of fame. AJ then says she didn't suck up to the right people. She got here because she's good. She earned the Divas title. She says none of them will be able to lace up her Chuck Taylors, is what she said. I guess that's the shoe she wears. And that she gets a pop. The crowd loved it. Now, she says everybody in the ring is worthless excuses for women. And at the end of all this, she drops the mic in similar fashion to CM Punk and skips away. Now, everybody in the crowd was actually cheering this. You don't want AJ Lee to be a face. You want her to be a heel. She is with Big E Langston. Keep that in mind. You want her to be a heel. If AJ continues to talk about the divas that are on Total Divas, and she continues to speak truth, they're gonna slowly ruin that character. AJ's fine the way she is. It's okay to be truthful. I love what AJ did last night. It's spoke truth all over it. It had truth written all over it. And I always said that when you bring real life instances and real life circumstances and real life feelings to an angle, it just makes the entire program or the angle better. But I don't know where they're going with AJ here. I don't know what they have in store for her. I don't know if she's going to be feuding with one of the divas on Total Divas for the Divas Championship. I don't know. But we have to find out and see, and that was a great promo by AJ. It was amazing. It's something that really has never been done by a diva. And of all people, I think AJ definitely deserves it. She is the face of the Divas division. And I honestly believe that the WWE really needs to start thinking about what they want to do with the Divas division as well as the Tag Team division. Two divisions that people definitely want to see highlighted. And if they do it, and they do it the right way, it's going to make for a better overall program. So hopefully that's the direction that they're going in. And finally, guys, one little thing I'm really bothered about. RVD versus Alberto Del Rio. I don't understand why WWE Creative booked this match last night. We all know Rob Van Dam is going to be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship, okay? We all know that he's going to be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. There's no reason for us to have this match on Monday Night Raw. I wanted these two to be apart until the pay-per-view, and that's when they get their hands on each other. Now that I've seen it on TV, why am I going to be invested in this match at Night of Champions? That happened with Christian and Del Rio. We've seen it on SmackDown twice before they fought at SummerSlam. And I didn't care about the match, even though it was still a decent match. They're going the same route and going the same direction with RVD and Alberto Del Rio. That bothered me. And I don't like Ricardo Rodriguez with RVD. It just doesn't work to me. It's really fucking stupid if you ask me. RVD, his entrance music gets more of a pop than Ricardo Rodriguez got last night introducing RVD. RVD doesn't need a spokesperson. The only time he needed a spokesperson was in ECW when he had Bill Alfonso. That worked. You had Bill Alfonso, Sabu, and RVD. That worked for the time. Now, with Ricardo Rodriguez, it doesn't work with RVD. RVD should remain on his own. He should be that rebel character. Let him do what he's got to do. Come out and steal the whole fucking show. Show us that he's definitely one of the best in the ring, even still at his age. And that's it. He doesn't need Ricardo Rodriguez. I don't understand this. The only way for this to end, I don't see these two remaining a tandem together. I don't see these two remaining a team, RVD and Ricardo. The only way for this to end, and I wouldn't be shocked if I seen this, is for Ricardo Rodriguez to turn on Alberto Del Rio and side himself again with the World Heavyweight Champion, screwing RVD out of the championship at Night of Champions. That's the only way I see this working. Other than that, I don't like it. Let me know what you guys think about that. That just really bothered me last night for some reason. And the match of the night obviously went to Christian versus Randy Orton. Hell of a fucking match. This is why Monday Night Raw needs to have more of these kind of matches. Just before I end this commentary, Monday Night Raw definitely needs to have more 5-star matches like that. That was one of the best TV matches of the year, without a doubt. Christian can go in the ring. We all know what Randy Orton can do. And I don't know where Christian, is going to be placed now. Obviously this was just a one-off match. These two have a history together. They battled early a couple of years back. And Christian, I don't know if he's going to remain in that World Heavyweight Championship picture. If it was up to me, I would insert him into the RVD and Alberto Del Rio angle and make it a triple threat match at Night of Champions. That's the way I would go with that. But all in all, guys, it was a decent show. You had some ups. You obviously had some downs of, like every week with Monday Night Raw. Those are the highlights of the show. Let me know what you think of last night's show. And again, guys, I apologize for not getting this out earlier. YouTube was doing maintenance last night. I had posted up a video. I wanted to go live on my channel at 9:30. It didn't get uploaded until about 6 a.m. And the reason why I didn't get this review out earlier in the day like I usually do on Tuesdays, because I wanted to space the videos out. I didn't want to have two videos out at the same time. I wanted to let one sink in, and then figured I'm off from work. I have nothing to do tonight. I would give you guys the Monday Night Raw review tonight. So there you go, guys. I hope you're okay with that. I'll be back to normal, hopefully, if YouTube is working correctly next week for the Monday Night Raw review. But let me know what you guys thought of last night's show, what you think of the storyline builds going into Night of Champions, what you think of the Triple H, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton saga, let me know what you think about the Alberto Del Rio RVD thing that happened last night. And let me know what you thought of AJ's pipe bomb last night against the Divas of Total Divas. So that's it, guys. I'll see you all Friday for WWE News and Rumors. I'm out, and I'll talk to you soon.